Hi, everybody, and welcome to the good, the bad, and the ugly of the Premier League football from last weekend. Quite a few candidates for these choices, hey?
Quite a few candidates. If you guys would allow me to go first quickly. For me, my good has to be a surprise of Fulham against Leicester City. They won 2-1. I watched their performance last night. They were really good. The game plan was spot on. First half, they went 2-0 up. Second half, of course, they were defending, but they were defending really well. I mean, Leicester's goal only came in like late into the second half as well. And I think the way Scott Parker got his game plan spot on was absolutely brilliant. I loved that performance without a doubt. I think my bad definitely would have to be Southampton, with all the credit that they get and all the hype that they got and stuff, to go 2-0 up against Manchester United and then to lose the game 3-2 is heavily disappointing. I think they kind of showed that they don't belong at a specific bracket within the league. And then the ugly, it's a very ugly one. It's a very painful one. I'm going to have to go with the Raul Jimenez injury in the Arsenal versus Wolves game. I'm wishing him well. I hope that he does fully recover. He fractured his skull. And last time a player fractured their skull, they went into retirement. So I'm really hoping that he's able to recover from this one.
Yeah, well, thoughts and prayers are with him for sure, Shakes. Okay, I'll...
If you guys don't mind, I'm going to go with a good, and an ugly.
No, I do mind. It's good, bad, and ugly.
Okay. Fair enough.
The good. It wasn't called Clint Eastwood in the good, and ugly, or the bad, and somewhat disappointing.
I just want to give Manchester United a shout out because I've been on their case for the past month, and I just think to come back from 2-0 down showed character that I really didn't think that team actually had. So big ups to them, but they're not my good. My good is Tottenham.
So you've just had a good, bad, and you're going to have a... Jeez.
Gotta find a way to work it in. I thought Tottenham going to Stamford Bridge and coming away with a draw. Obviously both sides would have wanted a win, but Tottenham going there for a draw and kind of coming away, they were clinical. I thought it showed a maturity in that side, that it wasn't like they kind of just dropped their heads and then conceded against the Chelsea side that has been very good. It's been unbeaten in their last few matches, cross competitions. So yeah, I mean, it was disappointing from a betting perspective in terms of I thought it would be sort of high goal scoring, high action, but both sides, bit of a game of chess. But good result for Tottenham, I thought. My bad then, Arsenal. Like, what's going on? 3 weeks ago, I wrote a feature for Soccer Club saying that Arteta is the man for the job. He may not be getting the results just yet, but there's a clear identity, there's a clear plan, and then they headlined it. Arteta has proven he's the man for the job. So when that comes out in about a week's time, it doesn't reflect particularly well on me. And then the ugly Liverpool's loss. I mean, against Brighton, just really disappointing. I mean, sorry, Liverpool's draw against Brighton was two goals disallowed, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't know. They shouldn't have gone and drawn that one. They should have picked up points. I understand there's injuries, but they've been getting something really good going. And I said last week that like despite everything, they were kind of such a testament to their team character and team culture to be going out and winning and. Yeah, I just didn't think that they would come away from there with a draw. Like Shakes, we both said 3-1, 2-1, in our show on Thursday. So, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to have 3 good, 2 bad, and 4 ugly, if you don't mind. The good for me is Leeds. 23 attempts at goal. Going away to Everton against a very strong Everton side, winning 1-0 with that amount of attack. They should have won by more. It was an entertaining game, and having 14 points at this time of the season, I can't fault them. So that to me was my good. The bad for me had to be Arsenal. Again, losing again. Ollie, in fact, had written an article 3 weeks ago. I mean, I don't know where they go from here, Shakes. You know, it was bad from an Arsenal point of view, and bad from an injury point of view. So, you know, there's one thing losing a game, but there's another one when you've got a player that's carted off a field and may not return to football, at least this year, and like you said, possibly never again. I mean, it's bad. It's a bad situation at Arsenal right now, you know. And if thank God that they've got the bottom three teams playing so badly, or they'd be sucked into a relegation battle.
It's actually funny you say that, Kevin, because Roy Keane said that Arsenal have enough to stay up, and yeah, he took a dig at Arsenal there, saying that Arsenal have enough to stay up. But I think with Arsenal, I think these results are just showing that there's a lot more wrong at the club than there is right, like inside. And my thing is with Arteta as well. I still think he's the man for the job, but my frustration comes in that I'm not defending him everywhere I go to finish lower than what we finished last season. And we finished 8th, you know, so yeah. I'm not defending him to finish 10th or 12th. And it seems like that's going to happen. I think there's a lot of players that probably need to leave that he wants to get rid of, and contracts are expiring at the end of the season. So it's gonna be a tough ride. I just didn't think it would be this tough.
Yeah, no, especially after the way they finished the season, and I didn't think so. For me, my ugly, and it's not a Mourinho type ugly, but I start to see the first cracks of Liverpool now, you know, and I don't believe that they're going to win the Premier League. Liverpool are not going to win the Premier League this year. When we start seeing, I know, I've just got to call it like I see it. They're not going to win the Premier League. I haven't said that they were going to win the Premier League.
Yeah,
in fact,
that's been us.
It's been you two guys.
We've proven wrong more than right.
Well, you know, you're both ahead of me in the generation of XYZ picking, but it's like picking your nose. You know, who cares? What I'm seeing from Klopp is, and in fairness, they've had some terrible luck with the VAR. I think the whole VAR issue is really problematic because we're taking the ability to celebrate out of the game now. If someone scores and they're all looking around, I mean, we've lost that instantaneous ability to celebrate life. So the VAR is a fuck up. It should be a simple thing. If you are in line or within 6 or a 12 inches of that guy, it's not offside. It's not just make a simple rule change so we can get on with the game.
Yeah.
I mean, who celebrates a goal now anymore? When a goal goes in, you're like, did it count? And if you bet against that team, you're like, oh my God, hopefully it'll be overturned.
Yeah.
Never. Exactly. It's never happened before, and it's incredibly frustrating. But what I'm seeing with Klopp is that this constant VAR decisions, the injuries, the fact that they wouldn't move the game after him playing a Wednesday Champions League?
Yeah.
To then having the early game at 12 o'clock on a Saturday, are all sort of adding up to the niggliness. And I've seen, in his interviews with the press, he hasn't been the same happy-go-lucky Jurgen Klopp. I think that the injuries continue to mount, and they're very unlucky. But to me, the ugly was the exchange that I'm starting to see with Klopp and the press corps. It's just not a pleasant thing to see.
Are you saying it's an ugly situation he finds himself in, or are you saying it's ugly to see Jurgen Klopp sort of behaving in this way when you look at the history of how he's interacted with?
Yeah, I'm saying the latter, because it's not like Mourinho, where Mourinho stormed off the field and didn't shake anybody's hand. But we're starting to see the cracks of a COVID year and the difficulties of traversing this league. Yeah. I've always said that a team like Chelsea, to me, may be a great value bet because they've got the squad. He's got the squad depth, and they've stayed away from a lot of injuries. And now that they've solidified that goalkeeping position, that guy has now kept, 8 out of 9 clean. Yeah. I mean,
8 out of the last 11 games. 8 clean sheets out of the last 11 games.
No, which is amazing. So, all of a sudden we're not talking of, it's amazing when you get a decent goalie, what that sort of does for the rest of the guys. You're not talking about that goal that went in or that bad, those ridiculous errors that the goalie's making. Looking at, like you say, 8 out of 11 clean sheets. Chelsea remain unbeaten. They're a point off the top of the lead. Things are looking pretty rosy in London, in that part of London.
Yeah, no, they are. I think Chelsea's looking really good. They are performing really well. I think they will be disappointed that actually they didn't get the 3 points. I mean, against Tottenham, they had two really good chances. I remember even the Olivier Giroud one, where eventually a back pass that turned into a 1-on-1 didn't happen. But they're going stronger. I'll give them that. But for me, why I still say Liverpool is, even with all the troubles that they've had, with all the injuries that they've had, with the fixture congestion and all that stuff that Klopp is complaining about, they're only second on goal difference. And you sort of ask yourself, in December, I looked at the fixtures. It's about to get nasty, guys, in terms of how many times people are going to be playing. And you look at it, if let's say Chelsea had the injuries Liverpool had, or because I don't think they're going to be able to remain fully fit all season, every club in the Premier League. And I just think they're going to have to meet their day. And Liverpool have coped with what they've had already so far. And to be fair, they were very unlucky against Brighton. They were very, very unlucky. That Mo Salah one it's debatable. It's not 100% offside,
Look, when you talk about that, though, it's also becomes very clear that your Evertons, your Leeds, your Southamptons won't make it through the 38 matches. Like we saw Everton without Richarlison and James. Different side, which is why I was also surprised that they didn't, pick up the win against Leeds, considering those two guys were back and seemed on form from the previous week. But yeah, it's like same thing with Southampton. If Ward-Prowse and Danny Ings are out, where's their sort of where's their pool? So yeah, it's gonna get tougher and tougher for those kind of mid-table teams that were contenders in the beginning.
Look, and it's going to get tougher to predict because as these guys start bringing in and bringing out the casualties and bringing in new guys. It's going to be an interesting season. But I just don't think that, I'm telling you now, Liverpool will not win the Premier League. We can play this back. I know. I can tell you something else, Shakes. It won't be Arsenal.
No way. Neither will it be Leeds, right?
Oh God, no! I mean, I'm not that stupid. It'll be between Chelsea and Man City.
Chelsea and Man City, okay. And then Tottenham, you don't rate Tottenham at all.
I do, but Kane is injury prone. If he goes down, they get a couple of injuries. They don't have any depth. They don't have the depth to continue at an excellent level, whereas Chelsea does. They have a lot of depth. Man City getting their guys back. That emphatic 5-0 win over Burnley. It'll be one of those two teams. And I know my brother will be not happy to hear that, but
It's really interesting you mentioned that, Kevin, because I was even sort of looking at Chelsea's fixtures, and they've got Leeds at home next. I mean, obviously, Kevin is going to say Leeds win.
Against who?
They got Leeds at home next.
Who, Chelsea?
Yeah, Chelsea. They've got Leeds at home next. They got Everton away. They got Wolves away. They got West Ham at home, and then they have the beloved Arsenal next. So the next fixtures, or even or even Aston Villa's the last game of the year in the Premier League. You sort of think to yourself, they can actually get 3 points from all of these games if they want it.
Yeah. Look, I don't think there's, with the exception of playing Sheffield United, I don't think there's an easy game in the Premier League this year.
Yeah.
You've got 8 points separating first from 14, first from 15. It's a tough season, and as the season goes on, with you'll have more COVID situations. You'll have various other issues, just attrition, it's going to be survival of the fittest. And like you said, the December period with the games coming, the games are coming thick and fast now, as it is. You know, it's I was surprised that the Klopp. I thought he made his first. I thought he made a managerial mistake by taking Mo Salah off the field last week.
Yeah, no, he took Mo Salah off, and obviously Mo Salah didn't look very happy. If anybody would go back and check that out, he didn't look happy that he came off. I think he wanted, obviously, there is a sort of thing that Sadio Mane brings into the team that Mohamed Salah doesn't bring in terms of more energy, more press, because Salah doesn't necessarily do all of that stuff. Salah just mainly just scores goals. So he probably should have kept him on, and he probably should have kept him on, but he probably wanted to sacrifice someone, and he sacrificed.
Well, was he looking at the game, the Champions League fixture this week? I mean, I don't think it was a punishment or anything like that. I just thought that it was like, okay, he sort of had in his mind 60 minutes or whenever he came off. Was it about 60 minutes? Huh?
Yeah.
And then you take him off and bring in Mane, and I think it was more to do with the fact that they're playing another Champions League fixture this week.
Who do they play this week?
Without a doubt, I definitely agree. I do think that he made those substitutions because Ajax is next, and Ajax is probably arguably, you would say, outside of Atalanta, I guess, as well, because Atalanta did beat them at home. They're a very tough side, and he's trying to confirm the qualification. But the thing is with Brighton, it wasn't over yet. You know, the game wasn't over yet, and I just felt like he probably could have just a little bit longer, you know. But look, he lost 2 points, unfortunately, and he has to focus on Ajax next, and let's see how that happens, you know.
Yeah, no, it's never a dull moment. Anyway, that's our good, bad, and ugly, and we'll be back later in the week with our predictions again and some value bets, and see if we can turn the season around for you guys.
Well, without a shadow of a doubt, we need to turn the season around immediately.
Okay, thanks, guys, and we'll see you later in the week, man.